Whoa, that's sort of pretty cool music. Welcome to Tech for Senior Live.
We're here.
How's everyone this morning?
Wonderful.
Well, let's bring on our guest, Jim Guld from Geeks on Tour.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hello. Welcome, everyone. You are watching Tech for Senior Live. That's always groovy music to get us energized for the morning. Hopefully, everybody has their coffee. Did everyone get their coffee this morning? You probably, Jim, you were going to get a beer.
I'd rather be diving today, but it's iced tea.
Yes, and we're broadcasting out on YouTube and Facebook, so we should be able to see everybody. Everybody's seeing us. We've got a few people out there, which is great. Let's have a look. All of Cousin says, "Where's Ron?" I'm here.
Hey, Bill.
And all of is, of course, from Oregon, where it's a beautiful. Yeah, it's going to be on the West Coast. It's going to be a really sunny day. Vale Williams, T-Mobile home internet average download speed has been 110. Average up is 12. That's cool, because when I get down to Mesa, hopefully in October, I'm going to have to get a hotspot and get organized because I can't use the park internet. And Detler's here, so he's listening from Germany. So we're broadcasting, Jim. We're broadcasting to Germany. That's cool, eh?
Das ist sehr gut.
Let's see. That is with a 3-bat good signal. Oh, that's good. All right, cool. And Dave's here, so that's good. So we got and Jolyn said she sent me an email just a few minutes ago and said she'll be joining us soon as well. So we should have a fun talk this morning. We're just Jim, we just get together and we have a little chat. We talk about articles and talk about life in general. Have some coffee, and usually the hour goes by pretty darn quick.
Okay.
I started off this morning at 7 with a Zoom video conference with my contact at Avast. So this morning, Eva and I spent about a half an hour Zooming.
Every Thursday.
She's in Prague, and I'm here in New Mexico.
We have a meeting every Thursday morning. It starts at 7, but I have to start it. I start the meeting at 6:30, and everybody comes in. It's a Toastmasters meeting, and
okay.
For quite some time, we used to meet in person at the local diner. And since COVID, we've been doing Zooming, and it's been wonderful. And both Chris and I do that. So we're up early on Thursdays. But we're on the East Coast. Not that matters, but.
That's even earlier for me.
Yeah, that would be earlier for you. When we go, we're headed west this summer for our summer tour. And somebody else is going to need to start that thing because it gets awfully early if you're in Montana or someplace, and they start theirs early in the morning.
When I do my video editing and I see all the ums and ahs I put in, I think I better go to Toastmasters. It really
it makes a big difference. It truly does.
It does. What do you have, a jar? If you do an or an ah, you have to put 5 cents in or something?
When we met full time, in real life, but there's no way to collect money here, and we're not worried about it. So
not worried.
But I'm sure there's a way.
They're not oohs and ahs, they're crutches.
Yes, crutch words.
Exactly. Stan Wallner from Orlando. And we have a question. I'm in the market for a large TV, but confused about all the different screen types. Well, we're going to talk about that. Talk about that. That's for sure coming up. I have
85-inch.
Yeah. You saw that article.
I sure did.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. So listen, before we get looking at the news articles we were going to talk about, I had asked Jim, just so everyone knows, Jim produces Geeks on Tour, and you've been doing it how many years now? Is it?
Geeks on Tour has been around since '06 as a business.
Right.
Chris and I had our businesses under other names before that, but doing the Geeks on Tour, and we started out with a show called Gabbing with the Geeks, and that was fun. And then we kind of processed into this "What Does This Button Do" show,
Right.
and
so you've been live streaming, and you've been doing this for quite a long time now.
yeah, we started out when Hangouts on Air was where we started, and that was the first technology that really made it easy to go and do a live
streaming
type thing, and to have other people join in. There's Skype's been around, and there were other tools out there that most of them cost money, and then so we started doing this show, and we've done 12 now episodes. We used to do it weekly. Now we only do it on a couple of times a month. But and it's transition. It's changed. If you go back and look at some, they were all recorded. They're all up on YouTube, and you can go back and look at them, and you can see the evolution. And the technology has gotten better. We used to do it from the road. We were full-time RVers, and we were very dependent on what kind of bandwidth we could get. It was cellular. It was whatever we could find, and we got on the edge of it a few times, but it's been a lot of fun.
So one of the questions I asked Jim, I said, I want you to think about it this week. I said, over the past years, what has made the most improvement in, or what has made life easier for you? What technology do you use that maybe people who are watching who do broadcasting like I am as well? I'm interested in the answer to this. What have you done, or what technology has been available for you that made your job a lot easier? What would you recommend?
Well, the main thing was bandwidth. Really, that's the key to the whole thing. The technology has gotten better. I mean, if you're just starting out, you can start out with a phone. They have great cameras, or a laptop. The cameras in the laptops have gotten a lot better. The actual technology, just because of Moore's law, it gets a lot better. So I got a powerful computer. I built or put together a PC, and then I got a gaming laptop, and that technology helped a lot. So more memory, better bandwidth, better cameras, that all makes a difference. You don't have to start there, but lighting is very important. But start slow, work into it, and watch a lot of YouTube videos and see what works.
Well, also, don't you think StreamYard, like we're broadcasting today on StreamYard?
Oh gosh, yeah, that's just part of StreamYard. I just started with StreamYard this year. Some people have been with it a couple of years, but it hasn't been out that long either.
Right.
So they make it so easy because it's all in the cloud. It's all browser based. So you don't have a whole lot of resources on locally. You still need a good internet connection. So
you do, yeah.
But it will handle multiple cameras. It'll handle switching and doing some fancy stuff. I got into OBS, Open Broadcasters software, very early on, and the learning curve with that was fairly steep. I started out with another tool called Manycam, and I just didn't have the software. I didn't have the hardware to handle the software at the time. They've all gotten better. They've all gotten, more usable. But as you say, StreamYard right now is my favorite for doing any of this broadcasting at this level. That's how I'm doing all of our shows from now on.
Is that right? Is that how you broadcast your button show on Sunday?
Right. That's because I can go to both my YouTube channel or channels, multiple channels, and my Facebook page or pages and groups. So we have on Facebook, we have the Geeks on Tour page, and we also have the Learn Google Photos group. So we have, a couple of places where things go, and it's not a problem with StreamYard to put them out to both of those or several of those at the same time. I still use OBS behind the scenes, and I have a Stream Deck. That's one of the things that's really helped me. But I'm a geek. I've been into technology, and I can prove I'm a geek because I wear this funny hat. This is a control beanie. Another word for a geek is a propeller head. And I've been doing this a long time. So, and it's my job. I consider it my job. So I can spend money on it. My wife lets me.
Well, yeah, that's part of the fun of this is spending money and buying things. So that's a for sure.
It's hard to show off new gadgets when you don't have them.
Yes,
True.
So we all share in this, and that's one of the fun. That's a lot of the fun we have, of course, on Mondays. Is we can show off some of the gadgets we have, or some of the software, or some of the new stuff that's there. Let me just get last couple of questions here, and then we'll get on to some of the articles. Let's have a look here. Which one of you is drinking the coffee I bought you? Thanks, Etler. Thank you muchly. We do appreciate that. Yes. And how does Jim keep his enthusiasm for shows and avoid burnout? It's called Chris, right?
Yeah. It's exciting. Sometimes, it does get to be the point where what are we going to talk about this week? But there's always something new. There's always something to talk about. And, bringing guests on is something that I like to do. And StreamYard makes it
really
easy to do. When I was just doing Zoom, I would have problems with sound. I would have problems with, bringing the people in and echo, and it was a hassle. But now with StreamYard, I don't have to worry about that. And Zoom has added new technology for sharing videos and makes it very easy. You guys need to use the share the video when you're doing your shows. I've noticed. I think that would make it easier. Maybe
easier
for yours.
Yeah. Yes, when we do the intro. Yeah.
Anyway, that's
We'll have to work on that.
It helps to smooth things out.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of fumbling around.
Right.
Chris does most of the work with all of this stuff. I do the production, and then I get to play with the toys. But when it comes to the actual show, she puts it together. She does the slideshow and organizes it, and I just try and make her look good.
Murray says he can't stay long, but good morning. Thanks, Murray, for coming. Bob Baxter, I'm trying to add DuckDuckGo to an older Windows 10 laptop. When I go to their site, download the software, I get a message the software is no longer available. What's happening? I don't use. Do you guys use DuckDuckGo? Is it?
It's a search engine. There's no software involved. You go to their website and you make it your search engine, and you search on it.
Windows 10 laptop.
So he may be trying to do something. He may think it's a browser and trying to and run it as a browser, and it's not.
When you go to your selected search engine, depending on what you're using, they all have their default. But when you go into your settings and you go to your search engine, there's a down arrow, and you can select. DuckDuckGo is one of the ones you can select.
Yep.
And once you make it your default, then all searches go through DuckDuckGo. It is not an app. It isn't a browser. It's simply a search engine. And there are thousands of search engines out there.
All right. Let me just let me see why this isn't working now.
Just open a new tab.
Why am I not?
What are you trying to do?
Stop screen share. Uh-oh. Am I locked up?
Yeah, you broke the internet.
Yep.
Oh no.
And you can't trust Ron with the internet. He'll break it every time.
Well, let's see if this sorts itself out. So the couple of these are the articles. I wanted to share my screen. I don't know why it's giving me a hard time.
Well, even your video is.
That's because I'm here.
If I went out and came back in, would that stop the stream?
No.
He's the one hosting.
You're the host. If you leave,
we could keep the broadcast on, and then I could leave and come back in. Could I not?
yeah.
Just take yourself out of the show and put yourself back in. You can do that.
Yep.
There
we
you
go.
go.
You're back.
You're back, but with a green screen.
That's okay. He looks normal that way.
Yeah. Just hold on a sec. I'll just leave it on a green screen. All right, let's get sharing here. Let's share my screen, and we'll share this again. And we'll come over here and we'll share this. And we will come to all right. So the first thing I want to talk about was
Hey, since you're there, you could show them how to change from your current search engine to DuckDuckGo.
yeah, let me just do that. Well, let me go through this first. We'll do that a little bit later. So the first thing I want to talk about was the article came up this morning was 10 million YouTube downloads, and it's even on Sony's PlayStation now.
That's YouTube TV, not YouTube.
YouTube TV, that's right.
Yep.
So I thought I'd just remind everybody that the difference between YouTube and YouTube TV, and even with the big argument between, of course, Roku. Has anyone heard about that? Is that getting resolved yet, or is that still?
It hasn't been.
Still a problem, eh?
No resolution.
But I still have it on my Roku TV without a problem.
Right. So anyway, just to let you know that there's 10 million people using YouTube TV. So if you haven't explored that, Bob, do you use YouTube TV?
No, I'm locked in with Dish for another year.
For another year, eh?
Yeah,
Okay.
and hopefully by then they'll have my wife's favorite show on YouTube TV, because otherwise I have to stay with Dish.
Yeah, I've been on YouTube TV probably a year now.
Right.
It's about, I think I'm paying $70 or $75 a month for it. So it's 70 or 75 in 10 million. That's a lot of money.
Yep. Yeah, they started with $50 a month.
Yep.
Didn't last long, and then they raised it to 60, and now you're up to 75.
Yeah, the other one I want to talk a little bit about today, I wanted Jim's thoughts on this. Bob and I were talking about this earlier, is YouTube Shorts. There are, and was wondering if Chris had decided to do some shorts. As you know, YouTube Shorts, they're just, this was an article I put up, how to make YouTube Shorts, but there's another article coming up about YouTube's putting $100 million for creators who want to make YouTube Shorts. And I was wondering if you guys had explored that, if Chris has looked at that, or what you guys, because let me just explain how YouTube Shorts works. It's a short video under 60 seconds. It has to be in a vertical format, and then it gets uploaded to YouTube and can be added to a shorts list, which is sort of a different menu than the regular YouTube. So just to let you guys know, this morning I was getting up and I was putting coffee in the coffee maker, and I had a big bag, and it was sort of a cool bag because it opened on the side and it had a really neat zip thing. And then there was a QR code on the side that showed, if you scanned the QR code, it told you when the bag of coffee was made, where it was made, who processed it, and all this stuff. I thought it was really cool. So I made a little short of that, right? And I thought as you go through the day, it's really easy to make shorts. And I thought, have you guys looked at that? Jim, what's your take on it? Have you, Chris, thought about that?
Yeah, we've made a couple of shorts. Chris has made a couple of shorts and put them in there. It's real easy to do. And a couple of the software that I use for the movies, for making movies, Filmora has a way to make the aspect ratio the vertical. So I can take any of our stuff and make it into that vertical video. The issue with our stuff is, we teach, and it's very hard to teach something in less than a minute. You can show a concept, or a real quick thing, but it's not very fulfilling because you don't get to teach the whole piece of it in such a short amount of time. We have shorts. A couple of things are out there, but for our audience, I don't think it's all that great. Most of our audience is your audience, the old folks.
Right.
I left you a comment on your post, and it simply says, "I wear my shorts. I don't produce them."
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thought, wow, it's interesting. It's a whole new.
It is interesting, and it's part of all this technology that we like to play with, and
yeah.
But
and certainly as creators, it's pretty darn easy to do. I mean, you can just pull your camera out, boom, boom, boom.
But you also want it to be useful, It's easy to do something, but to do something and do it well in that time frame is not easy, But
yeah. All right.
There are a lot of young people using TikTok, which is very similar, just short snippets that they're doing in videos.
But they're having fun doing stuff.
It's fun stuff.
It's a fun
entertainment.
thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what shorts were, brought out to compete with that and the other things from Facebook and Pinterest. They all have little Instagram. They all have their own little things, and but and for fun, they're wonderful. But to actual content is not.
Yeah, it's hard.
In my experience, and being an old fart, that's how I think.
Well, just to let people know what shorts are, and that this is going to be a big deal, and there's lots of these coming now to YouTube. So what shorts are short little videos that are that creators make and they put up, and that's sort of cool. The next topic that came up, and this was a big item this week, was Amazon kicked off a bunch of people because of tech brands taken off following reviews report, and they took off MPOW. And let's have a look here. This was they took off MPOW and what was the other one here? Aukey, AUKEY.
Aukey.
Which
are very popular.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, here's the catch: was they were not only were they fake reviews, but they were paying people. Aukey has been found to sending people, and if they gave them a product review, a good product review,
a five
star review, they got $100.
Yeah.
I just got something from Amazon. And they promised a $20 Amazon gift card if I gave a 5-star review.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's
that's been happening for a while.
Now because I rely on a lot of these reviews when I go to buy something, and I'm looking at a bunch of different products. The first thing I do is look at the reviews, and I don't particularly look at each individual review. But I look at generally, if something has an average of 30%, you wouldn't want to buy it. Most of them have about 70% positive reviews. I mean, what do you guys do? Do you pay much attention to them, or what's your feeling about reviews? Because obviously this is a big deal now.
I look at negative reviews. I get more out of negative, and if there's any really major things in those negative reviews, I'll find somebody else who makes a similar product.
Yeah, well, the way I do it is I look at the number of reviews and kind of the ratio.
Yep.
So if there's a new product out there and it has a small number of reviews and then they're all 5 stars, it's the developer and his family that are putting those out there. But when you get thousands over a period of time and the majority are positive, I say then, okay, I'll try it. But as you say, Bob, the negative reviews give you more insight to problems that you might run into. Absolutely.
I frequently get Miss A will come to me and all of a sudden pop up and said, recently you purchased such and such. How many stars will you give? And they don't send me any money. And the other thing is that I did a video review on an item. I've had thousands and thousands of views on it, and sometimes some questions about it and comments about it. So, sometimes the reviews can be good, sometimes they can be bad, and sometimes they can just be about the item, and you decide whether it's something you want to use or not.
So Sue Taylor says, what's the difference between YouTube and YouTube TV? Who wants to tackle that one?
YouTube itself is a place where you share videos of all types. YouTube TV is a streaming service. It's just like having DirecTV or any of the other broadcast TVs that you subscribe to.
Yeah, YouTube TV is like cable TV.
Right.
Plus, it has local programming as well. So you can have your local programming for your area. It's exactly the same as local TV, right?
Yes.
Right. Very good. So I hope that hopefully that answers Sue's question. If that doesn't, and you can subscribe to it right on YouTube. There's no specific requirements that you require. Now, what you want to do is you want to watch it on the next TV. Oops, I think this is a video. I don't want to play this, but so I put this video up on the 85-inch TCL TV, and this was a review I read on it. So who wanted the TV up there today?
Dave Gerber.
Yeah. So here you are. This is an 85-inch TV made by TCL. Now, the cool part about this is that the LCD version of this is around $1,500 US. The OLED or QLED is, I think, $3,000. So I mean, it depends on what you want. But the thing about this is you can't unbox it in your house because it's too high. Like, it's so tall. The fellow that was doing the review said, if you try to lift the box up you can't. Nobody has roofs that tall. You have to unbox it outside and then bring it into the house. It's like, it is a massive TV. But what a hoot. It's only if you got the LCD version, it's only like $1,600. This is crazy. Who's going to get the first one?
I don't have room for one.
Jim, you got to get one of these.
I can't go higher than about a 55-inch.
I could probably get a 75 up there on the wall, but I
have a cabinet, and the biggest I can get in there is a 70-inch.
Yeah, I took my cabinet out so I could get a big one up there, but it's still not that big of a wall, and there's too much light in the room, so it wouldn't work well for me.
Our cabinet has two sides in the middle, and thank God we can separate them. We had to take the upper connecting piece out altogether to get the 70-inch TV in. But that one, it wasn't the price that you see here, but it's also a better TV. But still, I paid 3 times that price for the TV, and it's not 85 inches.
I mean, so if you go to our Facebook page, this is, I don't want to click this because that's just going to play the video. But, if you go there, if any of you are watching, just go to our Facebook page. I put the video link there, and you just click that. And it is really interesting to watch the unboxing of this thing. It's so big. Now, having said all that, I do have 4. I love, as you know, I have 4 TCL TVs. I love it. And the thing I like about it is I don't have to explain to my wife how to use the remotes because they're all the same. Right? You never have a remote problem. So, but anyway, I like our TVs. You got to remember, with TCLs, there's different series, and there's series 4, 5, and 6. And 6 is the higher end, and the 4 is the LCD channel. So There are different versions of the TCL.
The Leo Laporte weekend programs that he does for TWIT, This Week in Technology, he has a TV expert and reviewer on almost every week, and he really gets into the differences in the LEDs and the QLEDs and so on, and the comparisons, because there's a lot to it when you start looking at the different models and different series and these different TVs. And of course, if you go into a store and look at them, they tweak them to the point where they really look sharp and really got a lot of color, but you're not going to have the brightness. You're not going to have the same surroundings when you bring it into your living room. And when it comes out of the box, it's not going to look like that either.
I don't know. I have a Samsung, and I quite often get compliments because I create videos off that TV. I take pictures off that TV, and everybody wants to know, when were you there? I was never there. But again, you get what you pay for.
Yep. So one of the things I would strongly recommend, though, if people buy one of these large TVs, is that they get a 3-year in-house warranty on it. Because if you get it home and it doesn't work, transporting a TV that size back is really a big problem, and you want to get the in-house support. Now, this was an interesting article that came out this morning, and it blew my mind away.
Yeah.
Like, did you see this, Bob?
Yes, I did. Very
I thought,
disappointed.
what the heck is going on? This is like, I don't know if this is true or not, but this means what because I've always been saying that the Watch 4 is coming out. It's going to do blood pressure. It's going to do blood sugar. It's going to do all this stuff. But this article said, no, it's going to go and it's going to run the Google Wear OS. It's not going to do your blood sugar. And I wondered, what the heck is happening to the Watch 4? I just saw this morning. This is weird. So you saw this as well, Bob?
Yes. And as I said, if it doesn't have blood sugar, I'm not spending money on a new anything until I can get the blood sugar part.
Yeah.
And
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I have to buy it for both myself and my wife, because I don't think we're going to swap. Here, you put it on so you can do the reading, and I'll put it back on my wrist so I can do. That's not going to work.
No. And the thing that that's where Apple has it all over everyone. I mean, they've got the product. It's worldwide distribution. It works. That's the thing that but anyway, this was really interesting. So we'll have to see. That just came out this morning, so we'll have to see.
But I have an Android phone, a pretty darn good one, the Galaxy 5. I would have to buy now an Apple phone. Not going to happen.
Okay. All right. The other thing about that, though, is, and one of the things that we're looking at, we're talking about sensors for diabetes. There will probably be a lot of other smaller devices that aren't watches that could do the same thing, right? Like, there's no reason why it's just technology, and you can have it in another device other than a watch. So I expect that will happen, right?
It's mainly convenience. You're already wearing a watch, so if it can do that too.
Now, the other one that just came out, and this is sort of cool. Now, and I wanted to ask Jim. Jim has the Amazon, what's it called? Portal.
That's a Facebook device.
Yeah, Facebook Portal.
Yeah, Facebook Portal. We have all of these things, obviously. Right. So we have an Echo Show.
What I wanted to talk about is that the first thing is, there's brand new Echo Show 8, and the 10's out, the 8's coming, and these are the brand new ones. And this is where the camera follows you, like the Portal. You were saying,
right?
Portal, Jim. You know how it followed you? It does do that. But the thing about it was crazy is they just brought out a software update this yesterday, which my Echo Show 8, which is the older one that's on our bedside table. And man, oh man, the image that because it displays photos, right? It is like 100% better. I don't know what it did, but have you guys seen that?
I have an Echo Show 10, but I haven't done the update yet.
Yeah, Do you have the older one, or do you have the one the camera follows you?
I don't know. I bought it. We get an echo. I bought it in January, so it should be a new one.
Right. Well, whatever. So if mine upgraded automatically, but for those of you who do have Echo shows, pay attention to the images and the photographs that are on your screen now, because man, it looks pretty good. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Echo Show Mini, and we don't have the newer ones, and then we have a couple of the Google devices.
What do you think about the Portal, Jim? Do you like the Portal, or do you see any advantages of the Portal?
No, not really. I don't use it very much for Zoom because I have all of this other technology that we use. I can see where it would really be handy for some people, especially if they're just joining Zoom meetings on a regular basis type of thing and don't have any, serious issues with backgrounds or whatever. It is really cool for certain things. You can also now, Anchor just came out with a new camera with that follow me stuff. That's pretty cool, ultra wide. I'm going to play with that a little bit. I'll probably use that in the van as my main.
You may not be buying it on Amazon though, eh?
No, not for the van.
I've been a little hesitant in having something that's got a camera that could be on at any time in the house. I just
that doesn't bother me at all, Hewie. If somebody wants to see my butt, it's I feel sorry for them.
You heard about our Canadian? Did you hear about our Canadian Parliament? Did you heard about what happened? Did everyone hear about that?
Somebody made a
they were having a like with the Canadian Parliament they've only got about 20 people in the building, right? The rest is all Zoom meetings, right? And so this fella came into his office and he was he knew there was a meeting coming up, and he was hopped in the shower, and he had no clothes whatsoever, and his camera automatically joined his camera joined him to the meeting, right? And this is like, they're voting in Parliament, and they've got their screens. Now the screens didn't actually show, they don't go live to television, although someone took their phone out and took a picture of them, right? And posted it. Now, fortunately, the guy was good looking. He was thin, young. He just came in for a jog. And so there, it was sort of, anyway. So it was big. It was big time stuff when this happened. So that was cool. Did you, Hewie, do you want to talk about the Central Florida? What you'd done a post on that? Did you want to give us an update on what's happening?
Yeah, last month, the Central Florida Computer Society and the SEMCO, which is the Southeast Michigan Computer Organization, had a combined meeting. They contacted me and wanted me to do a presentation for their group, and it was at the exact same time that I do my Windows SIG. So I said, well, I tell you what, I'll do it, and it was on Evernote. Let's combine the two groups. And I got approval from both groups, and we went ahead and had a combined meeting. I did Evernote for the Windows SIG, even though it's not strictly a Windows product, but I did it because of that time period. And then they had a Linux SIG right after that, because they do it opposite. They have their main meeting and then a SIG meeting. We do the SIG meeting and then the main meeting. So what we did is we switched it around as well, and we had they did a presentation on Linux. There was enough interest in the Central Florida Computer Society, they decided to put together a Linux SIG. And last night or night before was the first meeting of that Linux SIG for the Central Florida group. Mike Ungerman led it. He did an install of the Mint distro or distribution of it. And so they started from scratch. If you've never used Linux, here's how to install it. Here's how to do it. And he actually did the whole thing live using Zoom last night. And it's recorded and is up on the CFCS channel, and that's what this article tells.
Okay, on our Facebook page
it has
as well.
a link to it. Yep.
Yeah, you can see it as well on the page. Good. All right, great. And then I posted this one, which Chromebox is best value? For those of you who are considering a Chromebook, this coming Thursday, Hewie and I will be doing our Learning Chromebook session. So please sign up for that. And
a week from today.
A week from today, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I guess, yeah, for sure. And then, and we talked about last month, we talked about Chrome boxes. So this was a good article that I posted, and it reviewed all the Chrome boxes and which ones were the best. Jim, your Oculus. Tell me about Oculus.
Okay, because of you, it's all your fault. We got an Oculus Quest 2, and we've set it up. And actually, it's in our bedroom because we have enough space there to spread out, and the bicycle. But I've had a Lenovo VR headset for quite some time. It came with Surface that Chris got a few years ago, and I've been using it a little bit, and I just love the VR technology, but I don't use it all that much. I don't play with it. I don't do it. Now that this Quest is here and it's new and it's wireless, basically, it's a lot more fun to play with, and I've started to use it more. I got that VZ Fit program or app that goes along with it, and a couple of other ones. I really like the International Space Station. I like floating around. I like that. That's a lot of fun. But the technology is coming. I mean, it's here, and it's getting better all the time. I just saw where HTC is going to have their headset's going to cost like $1,400 for a VR headset. But it's a computer. It's a game all built into the thing. I haven't even hooked it up to the PC yet to try Flight Simulator with the Quest. I still have it set. Uh-oh. That's Chris's.
No. So listen, the other thing is there was a couple of things that I bought that you might be, if people do have Oculus Quest 2, first of all, what is it? I think it's $299, isn't it, Jim?
$299 for the 8 and $399 for the 16 gig.
Yeah.
Memory is the difference.
Memory. So when you get it, there's a bunch of options that you can get with it. One of them is, everyone talks about the head strap, because when you put the Oculus on, then the head strap on the back is like an elastic sort of thing. And you can buy actually other devices that work instead of that strap. I bought the one from Oculus, and it's more of a permanent structure, and there's a little dial at the back that will fit it on your head. The only thing I would say, I like it a little bit better because it balances the whole unit on your head a little bit better. That's the only comment that I'd make on that.
Yeah, the Lenovo headset has that little dial on the back, and it is more comfortable once you get it. And you're right. The elastic straps, it takes some getting used to and getting it in the right place. Otherwise, it's too back or yeah.
How heavy are they?
27 pounds each, I think.
Yeah.
That's only 10 kilos,
not
right?
your head, the Oculus.
It's about the same weight. It seems like
it's not very heavy at all. Yeah. It's not really. No, I can wear mine for an hour or two, and it really doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah, once you get it set up, it's not uncomfortable.
Right.
Getting it set is the hard part. And then if two people are using it, Chris's head is different size than mine, and
you got to adjust the straps. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Bob, did you see this? This is Google's going to make two-factor authentication mandatory, eh?
That's correct. I don't remember how long it's been, but two-factor authentication is just one more part of security that everybody, when it's available, should be using. If you don't and you lose the device, somebody else is going to wind up getting into your computer or whatever. If you have two-factor, then there's another barrier that the crook has to cross. And if he can't get to your smart device on which you get that notification of that code, they're not going to get into your device which was stolen. So I don't only have it on my Google stuff. I have it on many, many accounts.
Yeah, I have it on
Anything,
everything that's
especially
available.
anything that has to do with finances, your bank, stocks, anything that involves money. You got to have two-factor authentication.
I agree.
And I got an email. Someone wrote me an email. One of our viewers wrote me an email last night in a bit of a panic and said, I can't get in. My YouTube account's gone. I can't get into my YouTube account. And I thought, gee whiz, that'd be a bad one, wouldn't it? I mean, can you imagine what we have on our YouTube channels? I mean, if all that went away.
That's your Google account, though.
That's a Google
In
account.
those cases, that's your Google account. And
yeah. Well, Google Photos would go away as well, right?
If you've lost, yeah. Unless you have a separate account just for YouTube, and that's not unknown. But yeah, everything that's on YouTube for me is part of my Google. And if I lost my Google, that would be bad.
Yep.
That'd be really bad. Jim, do you have a separate separate login or something for Geeks on Tour, or do you have it all as one account?
I manage that page, so it's my account.
Okay.
And then I just switch user for the different. So I have one for Learn Google Photos, I have one for Geeks on Tour, and then I have my own.
But it's all
channel that is where I put my dive videos.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awful? Wow.
Account. And Chris also has similar access.
Yeah. Anyway, good news. I thought we should mention that maybe on Monday, Bob. That is going to be a change, and I think it's a good change, eh?
Correct.
Just another Chromebook there. This was the new VTC. Now that's gotta be a sexy looking headset, eh?
Now,
Jim, doesn't that just make the geeks on you want to get that? Isn't that just crazy good?
That looks heavy.
Yes, it does.
But it has color. You know how the Quest has black and white for looking at your surroundings.
Yeah.
This will have color, high definition cameras.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I might have to get one.
We'll have to do that.
I won't get it when it first
go ahead.
drops. I won't get it when it first drops. I'll wait.
Yeah, will you come back and do a review for us? Because I don't think I want to spend $1,000. Let's see, Bob. What's this nothing thing? You posted that. What's
if it comes to fruition, it'll be something.
All right. Okay. And what's this? The world's loneliest bus route. Do we get to drive that or what?
No, it's a bus route, 500 something miles in the very remote part of Alaska. I'm actually thinking about, gee, that would be a nice little trip to go up there and catch it and maybe do a round trip.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of people actually looking at it. There's 5 engagements that, it's not, it's interesting when you post stuff like this, who actually,
it's a very long article, but it's interesting reading.
You could probably ride that on your VZ Fit on your bike if you wanted to, Ron.
Yeah. What else here? Oh, best cellular plans.
Someone is at the front door.
Oh, be quiet. We have we got someone at our front door, they're coming to replace our front room windows, so it's the window people. So
they're coming that's your TV.
Yeah, right. My 85-inch TV, right. Best cellular plans of May 2021. Yes. Has anyone changed their cellular plan?
These guys are the best.
They are.
Chris and Cherie and the Internet Info they have the best information. They keep up with it on a regular basis, and especially for travelers. They started out as RV travelers, and then they went into boats and that kind of stuff. and they keep up with all the plans, all the hardware, all the extra stuff that goes out there. I'm getting ready to grab a hotspot plan for my router when we go traveling. I might go to the AT&T store this afternoon.
Mhm. Yes, indeed.
And they're the ones that recommended the plan that I'm going to try and get on.
Yeah, I support them. I'm a member. I think you are as well.
Yeah.
Well, I saw them off of you, and I support them. I'm a member of their organization, and they really put their heart and soul into it. They work so hard.
Oh yeah, and
They
they are
do.
personal friends of ours too. So
Yeah. Do you ever travel with them in your RV? Do you do? some camping?
yeah, we've done some camping together, and we've done.
Yeah.
We visited them. They're up in Sanford, Florida, not too far, a few hours away, and we'll go up there. We'll stay in the van in the marina, in the parking lot in the marina, and where they keep the boat. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Then of course they announced the Apple Watch. Sorry, I don't want to do that. But the app, that's the article that came out, and so we actually know the date, the time, and pretty much the cost. Although that can change, so all the details are out now, and it should be about mid-September when the Apple Watch is. So if you want to look at the specs on it, just the videos right there on our site, and you can play that. But this has all the information about it, including the blood sugar monitoring. So that's sort of cool. This is the one that Jolyn just bought. So Jolyn, I don't know if is Jolyn out there? I didn't see her. She just bought a Chromebook.
Andrew got one of these too.
Yeah. So did Chris get one?
No.
Oh,
not yet.
So this is and it was $100 off. So this is pretty cool. This was a good, certainly a good deal.
I'd have been happier if it was an i5 instead of an i3.
Yeah. And the other one is Apple Pay launches, Visa launches Apple Pay support. And I put this in there. I want to just ask you guys: does anyone do you use Apple Pay? Does anyone use?
Hard to use on a Chrome.
Chris set it up on her Apple and has done. We use Google Pay. I use Google Pay on my Android.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Let me do a couple of questions. Vale says streaming TV is best for personal viewing on phones, tablets, anywhere. Yeah, I guess you could do that too. I never watch anything really on my phone. Do you? But for sure.
Late at night, I sometimes have my iPad, and I watch, and I set it up with YouTube TV, and I can watch some of the TV programs. I don't actually watch them. I put a little earpiece on, Robin, and then just kind of slip it in the bookcase, and it doesn't bother Robin. The TV doesn't have to be on, and I can listen to some of the programs. There are a few that I sleep well to. Or they don't get too loud, and they don't have lots of noise. And so sometimes instead of watching a podcast or listening to a podcast, I'll listen to some TV. One that I really like is Law and Order. It's always the same kind of tone all the way through it. So it doesn't wake me up. It doesn't jolt me awake. But I have some weird dreams sometimes.
We have our TV on all the time. If the TV or the cable goes out for some reason, that's what wakes us up.
We don't have a TV or anything on, hardly ever. It's quiet in our house.
We have now Vale said that, which is a good point. If you're going to be using two-factor authentication, your recovery password can be is another Google account. So you should have, I guess, in my case, my wife would be one and I'm the other, and we basically have each other as recovery accounts, but you should probably have a separate account as a recovery account, eh? What do you think, Bob?
For recovery, you already have codes that I have some in my wallet.
Right.
That in case I don't have a way of getting that code for two-factor, I have 10 numbers that I can use one at a time, and then. But I don't have two separate accounts. I have one Google account.
One Google. So for those people who don't know what we're talking about, when you set up your two-factor authentication, you can Google will let you print off 10 codes. These are one-time codes that you can add in, and that'll let you back into your account. I laminated mine, put them in my wallet behind my driver's license, and if I'm traveling or whatever and I get into trouble, then I can just use those codes and it gets me back into my my account.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah. It's when you
two Google accounts can become confusing. Now, it's not necessarily a bad idea, but for most people, I wouldn't recommend it. Just for the confusion part of it, and how are you going to keep them synchronized? There are certain things that you can do to do that, but no, I would not normally recommend multiple Google accounts.
I'm in serious trouble then. I got a bunch of them.
Well, yeah, but that's a different thing, though, Huey. You know when you're messing around with different accounts, and Vale probably does too. But generally speaking, one account's too confusing for a lot of our people.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Eileen.
Yeah. Possible topic for a future meeting. I do not have a Facebook account at all. Concerned about too many junk messages. How can I set up a new Facebook so I can read with it? Oh, so Joel, the answer to that is you don't need a Facebook account. We tested that last week. If you go and you look at our Facebook page, you don't actually need to log in. Now, Facebook will have a little thing on the bottom wanting you to sign in, but it's just a website. You can see the site and look at all the stuff, and you actually don't have to log in to Facebook.
And you don't have any way of getting rid of the junk, even if you have an account. With Facebook, you're the product. You don't.
Right.
Facebook isn't yours.
But you can minimize the amount of junk.
Oh, sure you can, and it's a good idea to lock down your account when you have an account to make sure that not just anybody can see who your friends are. That's the most important thing.
And the other thing that people need to understand, that a Facebook page like we have set up is a business page, and there's only 3 people that can post to that, and that's me, Hewie, and Bob. And the only thing we post is tech articles and that's what we've decided. The only thing we're going to post is tech articles. So if you follow that page, you're not getting pictures of our kids. You're not getting, what I had for dinner last night. It's only tech articles. And usually these articles are all current today. Like, we review all these articles every day and we post them to that page. Vale's done that trip. He said the bus trip, he's done it. So if you want to talk to him about that, maybe we'll have him on as a guest sometime. He'd be great. Vale would be a great guy to have on. We'll have to see if he'll come on as a guest. He's got a lot of knowledge and he's a techie sort of fella as well. So maybe we'll put that in our thoughts for the future.
Do you know what time it is?
It's almost. It's almost.
My God.
Jim, when we have you on, time just flies.
It flew last week. I was when John was on. That was great.
Jess says, on Wise Vacuum, has anyone been able to move virtual walls after you set them up the first time, or do I have to remap it again? Good question. I don't know. What's the answer to that, Bob?
Don't ask me. I haven't had to move any walls, virtually or otherwise. So I don't know. It's not something I've tried.
I know on the Roomba one, they advertise you can just draw and move the virtual line around, and you could change the line. I don't know if you can do it on the Weiss.
Probably I don't know, because I haven't even set up any walls. So I have things that block things that shouldn't get touched. I just don't want to take a chance of somebody eating up a wire in my whole house now not working like it should. So we have it blocked.
And just in closing here, Olive says, what's the Facebook link? Tech for Senior. Just go to facebook.com and type in Tech for Senior and you'll find it. The link's on our website. If you go to our website, the link's there. It's pretty darn easy to find. Well, it's now 10 o'clock. Gosh, where did the time go? I want to particularly thank Jim for coming today. Thanks you. See, I did it again. I'm doing all these odds. I got to join your Toastmaster group. This is not good. See, I did it again.
Go ahead, stop sharing the page too, so they can
Yes,
see
I
it
will.
bigger.
I will. We'll stop sharing. There we go.
There we go.
Thank you for coming, and it was a great time. I think we'll do it again next week.
It's always good talking with you. And
is Chris getting ready for next Monday? She'll be on our show on Monday.
She is. She's trying right now. We're getting the book finalized for the 2021 issue of the Learn Google Photos book, and getting it to the printers because everything's changing on June 1st, and that's what you're talking about on Monday.
Yep.
That'd be good. That's great. I want to thank everyone for coming today and having coffee with us. Thank you for all those of you who are watching us on YouTube. Thank you for those who are watching us on Facebook. We will end the broadcast now. We'll see everybody on Monday for our Monday show, where we are going to have Chris and Jim Guld on to talk about Google Photos. So we will see everybody. We'll be back here next week, same time, same place. Talking next week will be who's our guest? Oh, Michael Daniels coming next week. Michael Daniels is going to come, and he'll be a great one to talk. All says thanks for the show. Well, thank you for watching. You guys stay on. I'm just going to end the broadcast now.